Hello, this is High Templar with a part 2 of my Total War Warhammer Slayers Mechanics video, and today we'll be talking about Slayers versus Cavalry. So on the one hand, Slayers have bonus versus large, and Cavalry is large, so they should have upper hand. On the other hand, their formation, loose formation, would suggest that they are very weak to charging, which is not true. I will explore that in another video, not really point this right now. You are being told that those guys are weak to charge, and they are. That's just a fact. Let's just see how they will perform. So, they are getting charge, and at the charge, you can see that they lost 6 men and they lost several hundred HP, while knights are totally free of any damage. So that was basically quite crushing, but let's just see what happened here. The HP of the Slayers dropping very fast, and they are losing men very fast, while the Knights actually lost one guy, but their HP damage is not so great. And the Slayers do lose their guys, but they are starting to, well, this is basically not as fast as at the beginning, and this is getting slower and slower. As you can see now, there is still 60 guys here, and it holds at 60. Whereas my Knights of the Realm are dropping like flies, and this is very interesting actually. If you would see that HP on the unit, you would see that like 4/5 of the unit is still alive. However, 26 Knights are already dead, so a large part of this HP damage is actually dead men. That is due to the fact that the weapon strike is 48, and they do have significant bonus versus large. And bonus versus large is armor piercing. Come on. And bonus versus large is armor piercing, and this is 24 bonus versus large. So that adds basically to the point that the knights are dying from 3 hits, and they are not being able to, fall back or something like that. And this situation will obviously end with quite crushing defeat for the knights. So let's review that. We have 23 Slayers killed out of 80 and 39 knights killed out of 23. Even if the knights would not break as fast, it was quite clear that from some point the Slayers weren't really losing any men. The longer they stay, the worse it is. So let's just... obviously this is not how you are supposed to use the Slayers. You are supposed to charge them. So now I will be taking control of some Knights of the Realm, and I will be cycle charging those Slayers, because we cannot really allow AI to do that, because AI is very bad at charging. Cycle charging, they are very bad at it. They are trying to do it, but failing miserably, really. Come on, sorry. So I will do something that is slightly more effective than a typical 10-second stay. I will do 4-second stay, just for all the knights to get in there, do the damage, and retreat. As you can see, the damage on this charge was massive. And this is how it's supposed to be. And the damage for my knights, insubstantial. However, during the retreat phase, some of my guys are getting stuck, and those guys will die. See those 2 knights? Dead. So, total of 3 knights died here, and that all of them was during the retreat, but still the HP damage on both units, you can see that Slayers are significantly more damaged. And another charge, as you can see, 61 dwarves left, and 56 of my Knights of the Realm. So this tactics is obviously much more effective. This is actually the optimal one. If I stayed for 10 seconds, the losses, well, bigger. I mean, the the dwarves were dying faster, but the losses on my unit were significantly larger. And another charge. At this point of the charge, 51 of knights are alive and 48 slayers. But after the charge, obviously 51 and 41. So those guys are dying, and they are dying quite substantially. 46, so 5 knights died, and this guy is probably not going to work out either. Basically in each charge we are losing few men. Now I'm applying white formation, which is a mistake in this case. Some of the knights will not take full, as you can see, charge bonus, but those guys are dying. Some of the knights that went on the flanks didn't actually made a proper charge, and I'm trying to save those guys by running in proper direction, but didn't really work out, so I charge again. Still 22 slayers alive even with that much health. They are dropping, yes, but so are my guys. Half of the unit alive. Another charge straight to their back. Problematically, those guys have the position of the guy holding the banner made for the attack, but as you can see, those guys are holding their own. 11 men, 9 men, 8 men, but still 300 health and 4 men still alive. And I'm staying there for the end of this battle, but you can see that I lost half of the men, even more right now, because slayers. 27 men alive with cycle charging. This is, I did kill a unit, but those guys are very battered indeed. So let's just see what will happen if I properly countercharge those guys, and I'm actively trying to kill AI, because those guys weren't pursuing me very well. Let's just see what AI will do, and actually some of the players will do the same. This is a shortest map, but still for the dwarves it takes some time to travel this map. Obviously it would be different if I switch sides, but that's beside the point. So I charged with a white formation of dwarves against those guys. One guy died here, and I have significant damage on my dwarves. 72 guys left. Can you see that? I lost 34 men and half of the health on the charge, and those guys didn't really lose anything. And yeah, I'm dying. I mean, yeah, he will get some damage, but as you can see, he's not even retreating. In the end, he did lost, but that was significant damage to my dwarves. And he just stayed there. So yeah. 9 Knights of the Realm alive here. Let's just see what will happen if I actually attack with a narrow formation, because white formation is very vulnerable to the charge of the knights, basically, because more of the knights get a proper charge against them. So let's see the same thing with the square-like formation. And how this will work out for this. Obviously, as you can see, this fight won't take very long. This is generally the case with the Slayers. They will either die. They tried to flank me, but didn't. And as you can see, this is the difference between the charging with the wide formation, narrow formation. I just charge them, and those guys are losing as many men as before, but my guys are losing a lot less. Like, a lot less. This poor guy being jumped by 4 right now, dwarves. And they are trying to retreat. And this is not going, yep. As you can see. And the AI couldn't really retreat that well. I lost 8 men and he lost 15. And now he is getting properly charged in a back by angry dwarves. Although my guys do lose 2 men, they were probably wounded on the charge already. Those guys lost, 11. And this dance will continue. Now they charge me, but that wasn't very good charge. Still 33 guys here alive, and they broke. With 18 Knights of the Realm and 51 Slayers here, out of 80. And health-wise, it's pretty decent, I guess. So, compare that to the wide formation vid, and yeah, that's brutal. The other thing that we can try here is to review a common mistake that people do in the multiplayer, even if they do cycle charge any unit. They are typically at some point staying in to finish the unit. You've probably seen it. This is the standard formation for the knights. I'm sure you've seen it like a million times. You charge, and then you are starting to lose, and you just want to stay in just to finish those guys. So let's start with normal cycle charging, with normal formation. Not as brutal as before, but those guys do lose a lot of health on this charge. And I'm staying for 10 seconds, which is also to show you that 10-second stays are much less effective. They do deal more damage to the dwarves, but my guys are also pretty battled at this 10-second stay. 12 of my men died. And that's significant. With another charge, also staying for 10 seconds now. Yeah, you can see they are dying, they're just not dying as quickly, and now my guys are starting to drop. But I don't care, I'm just by the numbers doing this for 10 seconds stay, which is for other units, for most of other units, the best tactics by far. It will deal just most damage. Especially if your cav is outranking the enemy unit by class. So yeah, another charge, and as you can see, there is very just a sliver of health on those slayers. So what some people would do is just stay there, but the sliver of health hurt 20 men, and I have 26, 25, 23, 22, still 12, 10 slayers. You see that? There is 10 slayers here with 400 health. I mean 500, yeah, but still, but this is 50 health on each. And this battle ends with 7 dwarves alive, and my guys will break soon. Yep. Close defeat. I actually lost that because of that single mistake. So there are other ways to deal with, if you are player and you are playing the slayers, there are better ways to deal with the knights, or generally the cav units, actually any units, is to put something in between the slayers and the cav. And this is just your typical dwarves. Not much to see here. This is Dwarf Warriors. They do have charge, defense versus large. And you can see that those guys are braced. And they are being charged by those knights. And nada. That is infantry being charged by the knights, by the shock cav, and not doing pretty much on the charge. Not doing anything on the charge, or mostly anything. I'm just making sure that. So I haven't actually made into this fight with my slayers. That was my mistake. Now those guys are playing. Now my slayers will get in there, and there is 2 kills, 3 kills, 4 kills, when my dwarves has 1 kill. Those guys have 6 kills already. And the slayers lost 0 men. Already my dwarves are already braced. And yeah, let's just rack up this count. 9 kills. 30 kills already. And now I've made the mistake of actually charging my dwarf unit into them, and my dwarf unit suffered very badly on this charge. But I do want to catch those guys. And this is something I probably shouldn't do, but I do want to save my dwarves. In the campaign you would like to have normalized damage on both units, so they would be able to replenish in a turn or 2. Yep, those knights are dead. And I have still 47 dwarves here alive and 66 slayers. And that's actually working even better on some lighter units. You do remember that those guys don't do much armor piercing. Against large they do deal 24 plus 14, so that's 38. 38 armor piercing is significant, but their entire damage is really big. So let's just do the same thing that we did before, only this time the Centaurs are just too fast and we'll have to charge them. And I haven't lost a single slayer on the charge because those guys weren't able to charge properly. That's why that charge from the side wasn't really perfect, and you can see they already lost many men. And because they don't do such great damage, I actually charged dwarves at them, which is probably a very bad idea. Should do the same technique as before. But yeah, 35 guys dead, 22 for the slayers. Now making a proper line again. And those guys are not really too fond of attacking it, but I guess they just decided it's not really we can do anything about it. They will just stay there. Three men dead here, 1 man dead here. And those Centaurs don't have that much of a chance with fighting those slayers. 32 Centaurs dead for both of those units. So as you can see, this is a very effective way of dealing with a cav. You just need to stay put. And with the AI, you can just charge them. They are not very good at retreating from your guys. So the other stuff that we can test is, for example, Pegasus Knights. Now the Pegasus Knights are extreme end of the charged units basically. They are quite costly, but they are big and they have enormous charge bonus. They have a charge bonus of 52, but I mean not a charge bonus, but they do have very devastating charge because of their speed. Their speed is 110 and their Pegasus are quite heavy, so they do significant impact damage. And I'm attacking from the side because I don't want to attack from the front. Side charges or back charges are much more effective. Come on, charge already. Yeah, and this is charge from the back. And it might seem insignificant right now, but there is already 4 guys dead here. Now I do want to retreat, but after the first battle, you could see that I lost only 2, and those guys have killed 14. And this is actually one of the worst results I got, because if charged properly and without getting my guys like this was not a proper charge track. Some of the units landed here because one dwarf was there, which is very silly. But if you can get away properly, and with those guys you can do it much better than with the normal cav, because those guys just can't. If you run, for example, in that direction around them, which is possible with the speed of 110, you can save some of the units trapped inside. I'm just waiting for this guy to start and trying not to attack from the front, as you can see. Just charging them in the back, and one more charge. Although I must admit those guys killed half of my men. Like I said, this is one of the worst results that I got, with 14 Pegasus Knights dead. But I was able to take out the entire unit. You could actually go with like 8 dead maybe, if you do it very, very well. So yeah, this is pretty much it. I hope you like it. If you did, press like, comment if you will, and see my other videos in Total War Warhammer Mechanics videos, but also my DLC speculation and DLC analysis videos, my Let's Plays in Total War Warhammer, but also different games. Thank you for watching, and see you later.